Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Humblehus. Quick and easy video. Maybe that's not true. It won't be quick, but it will be easy. We are making these bows that you can do in any size. These are the solid shell stitch bows and you can use them for lots of things. Add them to the bonnets, the hair clips, sweaters, a headband, anything. Let me show you what you're going to need for this. These are my staples. I always have them on hand. It's a yarn needle, either a thin one like that or a thick one that you get at the craft stores, stitch markers or paper clips, whatever you have on hand, scissors, of course your crochet hook, the most important thing, and the yarn. And you can also have your measuring tape if you want to measure the length or the width of the bow. This yarn that I'll be using is the Wool-Like Simile by Loops and Threads. And the recommended hook size is 3.5 millimeters or a size E, which is exactly the one that I'm going to be using. And also this is a super fine one weight. The color is just a white. Now if you do want to put them as hair clips, I have two types of hair clips that I ordered on Amazon. This is what it looks like on the back. Attach it to the bow. Or if you do the small one, you just attach it to whatever piece you're making. In my case, I've attached it to the bonnet. If you're interested in making this bonnet, I do have a video on it. It is called the Shell Stitch Bonnet. The only difference is that it doesn't have this neckline, but the rest is the same. So go ahead and have a look at that one. To get started, you need to make a slip knot. Very easy. Form a loop. Take your hook. Insert through the middle. Go through. Pull on that loose end through the middle of that loop. And then hold on to both ends. Then pull in opposite directions with your hook. Now tighten it onto your hook by pulling on one of the sides. There you have your slip knot. I try to go very slow so that even beginners can follow along. Bear with me. And if you don't know how to make chains, this is how you do them. You need to yarn over, so put the yarn over your hook, sort of twist and pull through the loop that is on your hook. That is one chain. Again, you put the hook under the yarn, that means yarn over, kind of twist and pull through. And there you have two chains. This is a project that you need to work in multiples of 6, and then to that number you have to add 2 more stitches. So go ahead for this large, so for the large bow, we're doing the large bow, I am doing 72 chains. And if you want to know the small bow, I did 36 chains for that small bow. In case you want to know the measurement of this bow, it is about 5 inches wide, and the little one about 3 inches wide. I now have a total of 72 chains plus the 2 that I told you to add. That makes a total of 74. This was your last chain. Let me just show you. This was your last chain. Now we need to make a single crochet into the next chain. So the way you do your single crochet is you insert your hook, you yarn over, you pull up a loop, then you will have 2 loops on your hook, then you yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops. So if you wanted to, this is where you could put your stitch markers if you just wanted to make sure what stitch you need to go into when you come back, and if not, you don't have to, it's optional. Okay, so we went into this second chain. Now you need to skip 2. So 1, 2, and then into that next one we will do 5 double crochets in there. Okay, and the yarn is going to pull a bit, but to do the double crochets, first you have to yarn over. Then I need to make sure I know where I'm going. Okay, there. Then insert your hook, yarn over. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops. Then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into that same stitch or chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. There you have 2 double crochets already, but you need 5 into that same stitch. So go ahead and do those other 3 double crochets. Four and 5. There. Now we skip 2 chains once again, so 1 and 2, and then into that third one or the next one, you do 1 single crochet. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again, skip 2, and then into that next chain you will do 5 double crochets, and that is going to be the pattern for this first row. You will skip 2 and single crochet, skip 2 and 5 double crochets, skip 2 and single crochet, skip 2 and again 5 double crochets. I will meet you at the end of this row. Now I am at the end of row number 1, and I just finished my 5 double crochets, and I skipped 2 stitches, and I have, or 2 chains, and I have 1 chain left. And into that last chain I am going to do a single crochet. There. Now I am going to chain 3. Turn my work. Now this is the beginning of row number 2. If you pull this apart, the same place where you have the 3 chains, that is the stitch you want to work into, right there. So you will do 2 double crochets into that stitch. 1 and 2. Now you have the shell. So, oh, by the way, that chain of 3 acts as 1 double crochet, so it's like having 3 double crochets right here. Okay, now the shell of 5, so you have 1 stitch right here, and 2, and then you have that top stitch of the shell. That is where you want to do a single crochet through those 2 loops that you see on the top. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. Now you pull this apart again a little bit. So this was the stitch you just worked into, that top one of the shell. Now you have 1, 2, it's a little hard to see, 2, so you skip these 2, and then right here you have that next stitch. This is where you will work your next shell. So that means 5 double crochets, go in here. Now I'm back here at the next shell, and I need to skip 2 stitches. Sorry, right there and right there, and then work a single crochet into that middle stitch. Through those 2 loops. So you're always going to do your single crochet at the top of the shell. So the shell is like this, like my hand. You're going to do it right here. Then you skip 2 stitches again, and at the bottom of the shell is where you do, the 5 double crochets. So the pattern is just going to repeat itself. So the only difference was that you started with half of a shell, and you will end with half of a shell. Okay, so continue doing this for row number 2, and I will meet you towards the end. We are now towards the end of row number 2, and I just did my single crochet on top of that shell stitch. Now I will skip 2 stitches, then we have that single crochet that we did at the beginning. So we need to insert our hook in there and do 3 double crochets in there. Now do not stress if you happen to go over here into that stitch. It all looks like one, and sometimes it's hard to tell. So as long as you skipped your 2 stitches, you should be okay. I like to repeat, do not stress too much. Okay, that's why crochet is so fun, because it's so forgiving. Now there's my 3 double crochets that I did into that last stitch after skipping 2. Now I am going to chain 1 and turn my work. This will be the beginning of row number 3. Into the same stitch, I want to do a single crochet. Now I am going to skip these 2 stitches. So that one, and into this 3rd one, basically, this bottom one. I am going to do my 5 double crochets. Once again, I skip 2, and then at the top of that shell I will do a single crochet. Now skip 2 and do 5 double crochets at the bottom of that shell. That is the pattern that you're going to repeat until the end of the row. I will meet you towards the end of this row. This is the end of row number 3. Well, almost the end. I did my last shell. Now I skip 1 and 2 right there, 1, 2 stitches, and then over here I'm going to do my single crochet. So this was the chain 3 from the previous row. Do your single crochet. Now you're going to chain 3 again and turn your work. Now we will start row number 4. So into that same stitch where you have the chain of 3, you do again 2 double crochets, just like we did in row number 2. Now we skip 2, 1, 2, and do our single crochet at the top of the shell. Skip 2 and do 5 double crochets. So, and that is the first 4 rows. You can do as many rows as you like. All you have to do is go back in the video if you're not sure how to start the next row. But all the odd numbered rows are the same and all the even numbered rows are the same. Okay, so after you've done however many rows you wanted to do, I'm just going to show it to you here on row number 4. I did my single crochet at the top of the shell and I skipped 2, and now I'm going to do my 3 double crochets to finish off this row. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to chain 1. Now, without twisting the band, you want to join both sides, and you have to align them as best as possible. And it's going to be hard to see, but you need to insert your hook into any of these spaces and then match it up with the opposite side and do a single crochet. Then continue, go through both and do a single crochet. Move to the next stitch and do a single crochet. You do not have to be perfect with this because you won't be able to see it once you do the bow. So when you're done with your last stitch, after you join, you're going to leave a long piece of thread, like a long piece of yarn, pretty long, okay, like this. I'm going to cut it off. I'm not cutting it off because I'm going to continue, but you will, and then you will just take that long piece of yarn and pull it through and tighten it to close this off. Whether you're going to add this extra ribbon or not, the steps are going to be the same. So if you do add the ribbon, put it on the back. Just like, you don't have to attach it or anything, you just hold it, make sure you hold it in the middle, and then form your bow whichever way you want. So either squish it to the back or squish it to the front, and then you start wrapping tightly around your ribbon, around your bow, until you get this. And because you have the 2 ends, so you have this loose end from the yarn when you start it, and then you need to leave about the same amount of yarn on the other side. After you cut it off, you make a tight knot at the back. So with both of them, you just tie them together. And then with those 2 loose ends that you'll have left over, that is how you then attach it to either this type of clip through those little holes. Just take your yarn needle, pull it through, or you attach it to your bonnet or your sweater, and you will have loose threads at the end. Whatever amount of yarn that you have left, you can always thread that in by going in, so up and down, and then up and down through some of these stitches. So you just wiggle your needle through there. That's how you thread in the yarn, and then just cut off that last little piece of yarn. Like I said, I wanted to make it quick and easy and available to you to use on any project. Have fun with it. I know your projects are going to look lovely with this. Please follow me on Instagram at Humblehus. Tag me with your work. I would love to see what you're doing. Until next time, see you soon. This is my channel, Humblehus. Bye.